So, for the past couple of decades, the nation of Sweden, the small Scandinavian country, has taken in more refugees per capita than any place on Earth. In 2015, Sweden got more than 160,000 asylum applications, mainly from Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan. That accounts for nearly 2% of Sweden's entire population. So what's the effect of this been? Eva Vlaardingerbroek is a legal philosopher who's from Sweden, and we're happy to have her on for the first time tonight. Eva, thanks so much for coming on. So we don't often enough get to the result. So we know what Sweden did. What happened next?
Well, what happened next was a skyrocketing crime epidemic, I would almost say. I mean, just a week ago, we had a new report come out about lethal gun violence in Sweden. And it turns out that Sweden has gone from one of the safest countries in Europe to now the second most dangerous country in Europe when it comes to lethal gun violence in just a time period of 10 years. So the effects of mass migration and demographic change haven't been small, to say the least. And still, many people refuse to make this link. But I would have to say that anybody who at this point still refuses to make the link between migration and the rise that we're seeing in crime in Sweden either lives in an ivory tower or has an interest in trying to cover up the truth. Because we're not just talking about lethal gun violence here. I mean, we're talking about gang wars that are being fought out in the streets of Sweden, explosions, knife crime, and not to say the least, soaring numbers of rapes as well. So, yeah, like I said, the effects aren't small at all. But there are people who are very much willing to cover this up because obviously the social democratic government in Sweden, who is responsible for these detrimental effects, would clearly prefer to have the Swedish people not to know what the exact numbers are about and the link between crime and migration. So what they'll do is they'll say, for example, with this report about lethal gun violence, they won't even mention the word migration. They won't even mention cultural clashes or incompatibilities. They'll just say, oh, you know what, these people, the perpetrators that are committing these crimes, they come from socially disadvantaged areas. So basically, prime example of this neo-Marxist rhetoric that the government is pushing and that the media is pushing in order to cover up the truth.
So Sweden goes from one of the safest places in the world to the second most dangerous country in Europe after Kosovo, and the people who run the country pretend it's not happening. So I guess they don't care about the people who live in Sweden.
Well, I mean, that's the only conclusion that you can take from this. They care more about being in power, clearly. So that's exactly what's happening. This neo-Marxist rhetoric, basically, in Sweden, you can steal, kill, rape, and still, if you're a migrant, you can be the victim in all this. And the effects are terrible for people who are living in Sweden. And yeah, if the people of Sweden don't break through this politically correct climate, this suffocating politically correct climate, and they don't start calling a spade, then I'm afraid that nothing much will change at all. So that's basically the first step that Sweden needs to start taking now, and that's making the right diagnosis. I mean, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. So as long as people are too afraid to say, this obviously does have something to do with immigration. Sweden never used to have gang wars up until, well, this decade, for example. Then how is anything ever going to change? And that, I mean, without that, they won't get to the second step, which is obviously that Sweden needs a migration stop from people coming from these radically different cultures. So, yeah, Sweden is so far behind in this debate that I'm very worried that if we don't turn this around now, then things will look really, really bad for Sweden and Europe as a whole.
Yeah, but they'll let you die before they admit it. Eva, thanks so much for coming on. I hope we see you again.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.